For my second review, I'm reviewing Fortnite to get into the recommended of all the little 6-year-olds. As a general summary, Fortnite isn't a good game. And I will go into more depth why, but it isn't a good game and I'm greatly uncomfortable with how many hours I've put into it and it honestly disgusts myself. The gameplay is very basic. You enter, you grab weapons, you die. It's made that you keep coming back because matches are short and it tries to keep you on the game, to keep people actually playing and to have the game not become completely stale. They add new items every week, which in most games sounds amazing, but Fortnite, it's done only to keep the game alive, and half the things they add are just repurposed stuff from earlier seasons as items just to try and keep their game fresh. Not to mention, the items are usually removed from the game within the first few minutes and don't come back until a couple of hours or days because the items are buggy because they keep themselves on a tight weekly schedule. Games have had many attempts to keep this tedious trash alive, and their main method now is the plot of their game. They gave their child-flooded game a plot, and it's honestly terrible. The main plot of an entire season was a cube. A purple, shitty-ass cube. Now, when a shape is what is keeping people playing, your player base is very obviously children, who somehow think a shape is special. And not only was the main plot about the cube, the climax was that the cube was a giant bath bomb and sank into a lake. The climax of their 7+ week plot was that it was a damn bath bomb. But their abysmal plot isn't the only way they keep the game alive. The other method is skins, which I'll get into in section 3. Now continuing on the last point, the way they keep their game alive through skins is by releasing skins into the shop once or twice, and then never again to keep the rarity up. And this increases longevity of the game by people theorizing that it will come back, and people believe that it will come back, which makes them go, ooga booga, rare skin, yummy yummy, I won't be cool kid. So they stay in the game. In other circumstances other than rare skins, the microtransactions are pretty bad. If you want to stand out to all the ugly-ass default skins, you need to spend real-world money on the game, which, sure, you need to do in other games, but as an example, you could get every hat in the game with the hat crafting method in TF2, which, without spending any money, would take an extremely long time, but is theoretically possible, and you can just trade for things of high value on the Steam marketplace. But in Fortnite, there is only one free way to get in V-Bucks, and that's by getting small amounts from the free Battle Pass, which, if you want the paid one, it's roughly $15 AUD. There are 3 types of people who play Fortnite. Children on their mom's phone, or the game console I can guarantee isn't bought by them, content creators who are just playing because it makes money, and people who find it fun despite understanding all of its flaws and doesn't center their life around it. The community of Fortnite is disgusting, but it's definitely not the worst community I've ever seen. Tedious game that has been sweeping continents and it's honestly disgusting how much of a crowd it's garnered. The game isn't fun, it tries to loop people into it, and it's the only reason Epic Games is even known. If I were to give Fortnite a review out of 10, I'd give it a 2 out of 10. There is some quality to it, but not enough to make it good enough for anything higher than something as low as that.